Some of us have trouble accomplishing our goals even though we have a sound mind and body. And then there are people like the one Susan White Bowden is going to tell us about tonight. A little boy with no arms, but who has a firm grasp on what he wants to do with his life and how to get there.
And it won't be on the back of someone else, Ken. 10-year-old John Hudson was born without arms and only one short leg and a foot. But that hasn't stopped him from getting around and doing anything he wants to do. John goes to regular school. He's in the 5th grade at the William Paca School in Harford County. Though he gets help from schoolmates and his teacher, he does his own work, writing, drawing, and figuring. His foot is his hands, and as many kids unconsciously fiddle with a pencil in their fingers, he does the same with his toes.
You're so happy, so bright. You got these wonderful dimples, this wonderful smile. Am I embarrassing you?
No.
I have a feeling that you're going to do whatever it is you want to do.
Yes.
Do you have that same feeling?
Yes.
I'm Johnny Hudson. I'm 31 years old, and I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I currently live in Edgewood. I started bowling, now I guess it's been about 7 years ago, and just started hanging out the bowling alley, just something to do. And I began bowling using the bumpers, and just pushing the ball and bouncing it off the bumpers. And then I really just tried focusing on doing good, and I noticed that once in a while I could actually get the ball to go down the lane without hitting the bumpers. And one day I was teasing around with my friend, and I pushed the bumpers down. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I rolled the ball, and I think I only got like 1 pin, 2 pins, something like that. A few weeks after my mom was pregnant, she was having pain in her stomach, and they went in and did surgery, exploratory surgery. They found out that everything was okay, and then they believe that it was the anesthetics that they gave her during that procedure that caused me to be born with no arms and basically just a half of a leg. My parents were basically my biggest supporters, just allowing me to do what I believed was capable for me to do.
Wow, that didn't take much effort, did it?
No.
Now, you and Mom are real comfy there, huh?
Yep.
You love your mom?
Mm-hmm.
When I was 17, I really started hanging out with some of the kids that were like my age, maybe just a little bit younger. And I had always swore that I was never going back to church when I was 18. And it was October the 4th, 1995. 4 days after my 18th birthday, I accepted Christ as my Savior. I accepted the call to preach the same night. So I went to Bible college in Downingtown, Pennsylvania, a school called Northeast Baptist College, and earned my 4-year degree in 3 years. And then after that, I earned my master's and my doctorate from a school in Camilla, Georgia, called Andersonville Baptist Seminary. And I've basically been going to different churches and preaching. The last count, I've been to over 90 different churches in the last 8 years. I don't even know how many people I've met or have people I've been in front of. I've ministered to crowds as little as 3 people. And just recently, I went to First Baptist Church of Hammond, Indiana, and there were over 10,000 people in attendance in person, and that's not counting the people that were watching over the internet worldwide.
Isn't God great? He really is. My life verse, absolutely, is Psalms 139:14. I will praise thee, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works. and that my soul knoweth right well.
God always has a purpose in the way that a person is born. It's our job to figure out what our purpose is in life.
Psalms 139 verse 14 is not just to a guy with no arms and a wheelchair. It's to that guy in the third row that's saying, God, I would do this, but I can't. And God has never asked me to do anything that I can't do. It's not about me, folks. It really isn't. I can drive a vehicle. The theme all week is going the distance for God, and tonight's about overcoming hurdles. My van, when I drove it off the lot, was $140,000. I bought my van less than 2 years ago, and it's completely paid off. You know why? Because I trusted in God.
Been wanting to drive for a long time, and several years ago I decided to look into it and saw on the internet the equipment that I can use, and just pretty much went from there. The state of Maryland helped pay for the modifications. They were $93,000, and it took a long process, about 2 years, for them to get everything set up and ready to go for them to to finance the total purchase of just the modifications. And then there's a dealership on the other side of Baltimore down in Beltsville where I bought the vehicle from. And after I purchased the vehicle, the state of Maryland paid for the modifications to be installed. And the van is actually going to be 2 years old. Well, by the time this is probably seen, a little over 2 years old. March the 25th, I believe, is when I drove the van off the lot. I think a lot of times with a disability, you have to be a little bit more charming than most people, because the average girl doesn't want to have to deal with a person with a disability. They don't know what all is involved. Most girls think, I don't want to deal with it because I'm going to have to do so many things. And realistically, there's not much that, my wife, when I eventually get married, will have to do. So
I am looking for a wife, by the way, so if you know any, I won't lay a hand on her, even after we're married.
I am involved right now with a girl that I've known for 12 years. Her and I have been best friends for 12 years, and things are just falling into place. In fact, you talked about opportunity. I had the opportunity this last Sunday to go up to Brooklyn, New York to see her. And if I didn't drive, I wouldn't be able to do that. So in the future, I just want to be able to touch as many people as I can, and to live the normal life, get married, have kids, have grandchildren, have great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. My purpose on earth is to show people that they can do it, and people that have their full body to use, arms and their legs and good minds and eyesight, and they can hear and smell, and they just don't have any quote-unquote problems in life, but they make so many excuses on why they can't do things. And so I believe I'm just pretty much God's slap in the face to mankind, saying, look, you can do whatever you put your mind to it.
Where does this positive attitude come from?
No place, just probably from the heart.
From the heart?
Mm-hmm.
Think you were born with it?
Yes.
Born without arms, but a very positive heart.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think your accomplishments can help other people accomplish? What kind of an example do you think you can be?
Probably show people that if they want to do something and they think they can't do it, they can probably really do it. If they try and try.
That is not a little boy anyone feels sorry for. That is a young man to be admired, to learn from. It's people like that who show the rest of us the way to get the most out of life.